All right, guys, Friday, September 27th, about 7:50 a.m. on a Monday, or sorry, Friday. Don't even know what day it is. Yeah, so I'm back at the teepee. I just left my audio recorder inside the teepee. I put a drill charger attached to a USB cable attached to the audio recorder. So that should get me at least 24 hours battery life. So it's almost 8 a.m. That should take me till 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And if it doesn't work for some reason, the battery power, I still have two AA's in there that'll go 18 hours. So that'll take me till about 2 a.m. Yeah. The reason a lot of people are saying this is bushcraft, it's 27 feet tall, 48 feet circumference, and the doorway is 7 feet 7 inches tall. Now, that doesn't mean a human couldn't have made it, obviously, but the reason I think this is more likely Sasquatch is simply the fact a lot of people are saying this is a bushcraft structure. I went on YouTube last night and I'm going to make a video and I'm going to record the screen of all the YouTube videos. Just go through them real quick, just the thumbnails. And every single bushcraft structure, not one of them is over like 10 feet tall. And most of them are probably, I don't know, 6 feet tall. So this is 27 feet tall. And it just doesn't make sense to me why anyone, and it looks a lot smaller, the camera's deceiving. And in person, it looks a lot bigger. I'm gonna try and step back just to give you a better idea of just how big it is. Yeah, so people, even in their videos, I was watching a couple of the videos, the point of a bushcraft structure, some people do them for fun. However, the main purpose of them is a survival shelter. And if you're building a survival shelter, you're building it as efficiently as possible and as small as possible and as quick as possible. Reason being, when you're in a survival situation, it gets cold at night, especially if it's in the wintertime. You're trying to gather firewood to build a fire, get your shelter done before it gets dark, and also the smaller it is, the easier it is to heat. It's going to stay warmer. If it's a big 27-foot tall teepee like that, all the heat's going to rise and escape. That's if you're having a fire inside. Now, kids, this is too heavy for kids, in my opinion, to build, just because they're so damn tall. Also, you would have to, all these 27-foot sticks, hundreds of them, my guess would be a couple hundred all the way around. It's 50 feet circumference, well, 48. But these aren't just lying here in this one spot on the ground, and then they just stack them up tall. They would have to scavenge the whole forest floor, and obviously you have ticks, you have poison ivy, stuff like that. Nobody's going through this thick bush to find all these sticks lying around and then bring them back to this location. This is a public trail, but it's very well hidden off a highway with only two parking spots. So this isn't a park. People aren't coming here with their kids and stuff. But even if it's adults making this, one or more adult, it still wouldn't make sense. There's no fire pit inside. There's no signs of garbage inside. I'll show you again real quick. Actually, I put my recorder over there under leaves, a bunch of leaves and bark. Can't see it now, but yeah, and I'll show you the bottom. These sticks are all broken. They're not cut with a saw or an axe. These are all broken at the base. Whoa, shit. And again, 27 feet tall. It makes no sense for a human to build it this tall. And if it was a fort or whatever, you'd have signs of, human debris in there, maybe beer cans and stuff, a little fire pit or something. But every time I come here, there's nobody here. Yeah, for people saying, oh, wouldn't there be DNA or hair or footprints or scat? Well, look how weathered the bark, the branches are. It's clearly old, so no, not necessarily. Obviously, the hair and the footprints would all be gone from washed away from the rain and the snow and stuff like that, and other animals. I guess people are assuming that this is a structure they would live in. I don't think so. I disagree. I think these are trail markers like the Native Americans used to build. And they all have different meanings. I think the Sasquatch have their own meanings. I think, my personal opinion, every time I see these teepees, and this is the biggest one I've ever found. Before that, it was maybe 10 feet tall. And that's what they all seem to average, 6 to 10 feet tall. I believe this is a statement for other Sasquatch, and I believe it means home. This piece of land is already taken by another clan or family of Sasquatch. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, there's no way to prove it. It's all speculation, but yeah, I think I don't think it's a shelter to live in. I mean, maybe they use it at night when no people are around. They'll come in here, but it's clearly not waterproof. So yeah, I don't think it's a shelter. I think it's more of a statement, because it's so big. It's to let other Sasquatch know that, yeah, we're here. This is our territory. That's my best guess. It makes no sense for a human to make one this big. Like I said, I looked on YouTube. I couldn't find, and I looked at almost every single video on bushcraft structures, bushcraft teepees, and like I said, there wasn't one over 10 feet tall. And I think there was two guys were building one, but they were using like cranes and chainsaws and huge logs, like so that doesn't really count, because that's nothing like this. Yeah, so that's my opinion. People can disagree with me, that's fine, but I've come across a lot of these. I do this every week. I'm out looking for structures and signs of them and evidence, and this is just the craziest thing I've ever come across, other than footprints and stuff that I've recorded. But as far as structures go, yeah, technically a human is capable of making this, but it wouldn't make any sense as to why. So that's why I tend to lean Sasquatch built this. If anybody can find anything taller than 27 feet tall on YouTube or in person, if you see one around your area, go ahead, take a camera or a video of it and measure it and post it and share it with me, because I'd love to know, because I've never seen anything this big, and that's the only thing I can come up with. It just makes no sense for a human to build this. Like I said, technically, yeah, they could. Definitely not kids, but adults could build this. But it just, again, it makes no sense in the location it's in, and it makes no sense, period, if you're doing a bushcraft structure. Like I said, you're going to build it, you know, as small and efficient as you can. Let's take a walk around the back. Yeah, the camera does not do it justice. It goes all the way around. I'm not going to walk back there because it's pretty thick, but yeah, it's exactly the same, all the 48 feet circumference around. And it's kind of cool because they built it around a tree trunk. You can see it sticking out there, but the tree trunk's not in the middle, it's off to the side. So most of the logs aren't even leaning against that, so they're kind of, I don't even know how they got them to stand up like that. Here, hearing crashes all around me, but I'm sure it's just squirrels and shit dropping acorns. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so cool. So yeah, I'm trying to use science and evidence. Well, I guess it's not really science, but research and doing tests and stuff, experiments to get to the bottom of this. We may never know. We'll probably never know. But like I said, I left my audio recorder in there, and I'm gonna retrieve it tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. I'm gonna come back at 7 a.m. because it's supposed to rain at 7 a.m. but that's when the sun comes up. So I'm gonna come and grab it and review it tomorrow and see if we catch any whoops or anything unusual. That'll let me know that it is them and they are here. Also, there's tons of another reason I think it's Sasquatch is I'm just seeing tons of other tree structures in here, like arches everywhere, tree breaks pointing to the trails, trees stuck in between, wedged in between the forks of other trees, and just things that aren't natural. And most people would pass them off as natural, but once you know what to look for, you can kind of get an idea if any are around or have been here in the past. They may not even be here full time. This could just be a corridor they use, and they leave trail markers for other Sasquatch that are traveling. Maybe this is like a checkpoint to let other Sasquatch know, okay, this is where you are. Once you reach the big Teepee, then you know you're here, or you know it's only another 10 kilometers to the next checkpoint or whatever. Who knows? All speculation, but yeah, it's fun. It's crazy that there's 7 to 12 feet tall, giant, I believe, people hidden. And that's why I believe they're people, because the number one thing for me as to why they're not apes, an undiscovered ape, is very simple. We have found every species of animals in the world. Well, that's not true. We're still finding some, especially in the oceans, but on land, especially a 7 to 12 foot tall one, we've discovered everything. And everything we've discovered is in a cage in a zoo. And the fact that they're not in a zoo tells me they're not a dumb ape, or even a smart ape, because even a smart ape can be caught. There's either something paranormal going on, or we can't see them with our eyes, since we can only see in certain light spectrums, or they can cloak, or maybe they can somehow manipulate us into not seeing them somehow. I don't know. Messing around with frequencies and vibrations. Or perhaps they're just really good at hiding. They're the master of their domain, of the forest. And they just blend in well, like any other animal. It's very hard to see anything. And I think, you know, they have day watchers and stuff, and they would knock to let others know people are coming or whatever. They know you're coming long before you'll ever find them. So that's probably why they're not seen or captured on video very often. But yeah. What was my point? Sorry, I'm getting distracted, all the noises around me. But yeah, I think oh yeah, so yeah, exactly, that was my point. They would be in a cage in a zoo somewhere if they were just an ape. There's got to be more to it than that, and that's the simplest explanation I have. If they were an ape, they'd be in a zoo. Obviously the government knows about them. The government knows about everything. They just don't tell us. But yeah, I don't blame them for wanting to be hidden. Humans destroy everything we touch, including their environment and their home. So yeah, that's why they probably don't build structures very often. But yeah, this is insane. 27 feet. The first time I found it a couple weeks ago, I was walking around the corner and was looking down, I looked up and I saw it, and it scared the shit out of me at first. It's just so damn massive. But it was also just unbelievably amazing and cool. So yeah, I think that's all I got for now. I'll touch base tomorrow morning when I pick up the recorder, and hopefully we get something good. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay guys, one more thing before I take off. I just found this stick in front of the door, and I just remembered that piece of the tip that fell off of the tall 25-foot branch that I took down to measure the other day in my other video. A piece of the tip fell off. Actually, sorry, the branch I took down was 21 feet, but I estimated that the piece of the tip that fell off was 2 to 3 feet in the video, which would have made it 23 to 24 feet. Plus, it wasn't all the way to the top, so that was another 2 to 3 feet. So it was anywhere from 25 to 27 feet, which I estimated. But I looked back in the video and I saw where that little piece landed, and it was in front of the door here, and it's right here. And I just measured it, and it's 6 feet long. My shoes are 11 inches, so we'll start here with my heel. That's the tip of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, it's right there. 6 feet. There to there. So that actually made that 21-foot branch plus 6 feet, 27, plus the 2 to 3 feet at the very top, because it didn't reach the top. So the actual height is probably closer to 29, 30 feet tall, not 25 to 27. So I just wanted to correct that, because I just found the branch that broke off the tip of that longer 21-foot branch. So even taller than I thought, 30 feet tall. We'll say 29 just to be on the conservative side. Okay, I'm on the trail where I found that teepee. I'm finding all these broken structures and arches, so I just want to document it. Here's an arch, and it's being held down by sticks that were placed there. So there's the tip of it. It's like that, and bent up and down through this tree, but it's being held down by these branches on the ground. They're just placed there. So it's one arch. Then you got like a broken off triangle, 3 of them in a row. Go a little closer. They're all broken in the center, almost like a like a teepee or triangle, right in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. There's one there. There's one over here. Might as well walk over there. I don't know if you can see it. So there's another triangle broken in the middle, standing up on its own. So there's one. Over here's 2. Right there. And then there's a third one, about 50 feet away. So there's 2. And it's probably, I don't know, 6.5 feet tall there. That one over there is a little taller. Probably 8 to 10 feet tall in the middle at the break. And then down here, there's another one. And then there's also a giant arch. Well, let's do the arch first. This is a little closer. And this is a thick arch. There's no way a human's bending this. This is quite the bend. Yeah, that's a thick guy. Put my hand on it for reference. That's how thick it is. Can't even get my hand halfway around it. Okay, and then over here, another break. Let's get a little closer. So another triangle break. 3 in a row. Along with that giant arch. Alright, I'm going to walk back a little further. See if I can find anything else. Sometimes you got to go off the trails, guys, to find things. Other times it'll be right on the trail. But yeah, I'm finding stuff like that all throughout this forest. Signs of them being here, which is why I think that 29 to 30 foot teepee is probably them. So I've never seen one that big in my life. Always trying to put myself in their shoes, and when I'm hiking through the forest, I'm thinking, where would they want to be hiding during the day? Something that's not easily accessible to humans, which would be off the trail. Problem is I'm wearing flip-flops, so I don't feel like getting poison ivy or ticks right now. I can't wait for another month when all the leaves are off the trees, so you don't have to hike in so deep. You can see pretty much everything right from the trailhead. So that's the plus you don't have to deal with the bugs. Another arch. I don't know if you can see it. Zoom in. All right. Cobweb. Gotta go back to the trail and get my bag. Oh, there it is. I like coming here early in the morning, right after work, because I work night shift. And because nobody's here, so I got the whole place to myself. I can videotape and talk and explore. Always thinking if somebody comes by, they're gonna think I'm like a murderer or something, looking for a place to dump the body. I think, what's this guy doing by himself early in the morning in the middle of the woods off the trail with the bag in his hand? All right, there's my bag. Yeah, I brought my bag in because I brought my recorder and whoa. Keep it down there, squirrels. Alright, my battery's almost dead, but keep her running for a little bit longer. The noises in the background is construction trucks. They're backing up and beeping. This part of the trail is pretty close to the road. There's another little break. I'm not saying every break is them, but when you see 3 triangle breaks in a row, all side by side, all broken in the middle, about the same height, and then a giant arch right beside it. I don't know, it's quite the coincidence. It's a big valley down there with a creek. I'd like to go explore down there one day, but it's pretty hard to get down. It's pretty steep. You're looking at a good 100 feet down easy. It's kind of hard to tell with the camera, but creek's pretty dried up this time of year. There's a little bit of water, but it's like standing. So I don't think they'd be here this time of year just because they need a water source. I mean, there are other water sources nearby, but like not directly right here. You'd have to hike a little bit, which I'm sure to them is nothing. I forgot my selfie stick, so this might be a little shaky today. All right, I'm gonna stop it.